Thank you all for joining me today. This is Dr. Hibbert from Kingdom Connect TV1 here in Conyers, Georgia. Just want to remind you that this program is heard also on the Flow and Digicel Network out there in Jamaica and in the Caribbean. We thank God for all of you who joined to watch us today. Thank God for Bishop Dilford Davis and his wife, Dr. Petrova Davis, who are the ones responsible for putting us on those TV channels. We thank God for them. Thank God for all of you who have chosen to join us time and time again. Remember the program in Jamaica and wherever is Monday 9 a.m., Thursdays 12 noon, and Saturdays 1 p.m. You can always find us there at those times on the Flow and Digicel cable network. Let me pray with you. I'm coming to you a little different this morning, not from our formal studio, if you will notice, but I'm here. Thank God I'm here. Let me pray with you. Father, I thank you for this day. Thank you for it's a new day that you have made. And Lord, I'm here to rejoice and be glad in it. And I thank those today, God, who you have touched to watch this broadcast, tune into this broadcast, and those who will share it with others. I pray that something be said, Lord, that will bless somebody, will reach somebody in their space where they are. I pray, Lord, for somebody who's going through that troublesome situation right now. I bring them before you, God, and I ask that reinforcement will come to somebody in their space right now where they are. They'll have a new experience, and they will know that you are there with them, as your words declare, that I'll never leave you, nor will I forsake you. So, Lord, I pray that somebody be encouraged today and will move from where they are to another dimension. And I thank you. Thank you, God. Thank you in Jesus' name. Amen and amen. Yes, my friends, it's another day. And, this week we've been talking about Black History Month. Of course, it is Black History Month. And a lot of people today are, during the entire month, they celebrate Black History. And so if you notice, our programs are somewhat focused towards that. Now, as I said yesterday, that I'm not doing Black History Month like maybe what others expect. This is for me trying to help somebody to get out of their situation. Somebody who will make that decision to be a better person, because the truth is that God wants us to be better. And if we're not getting better, it means that we're stuck. And I don't believe anybody is comfortable being stuck in where they are. So we really need to move forward, try to put our best foot forward, as the old saying goes. Just put one foot in front of the other and keep going. You don't want to stay stuck in life, in that life pattern. You don't want to do that at all. All right. We dealt with effects of mental slavery. We dealt with, the topic was free your mind mentally. Yesterday it was let it go. Today I want to, the topic today is accept it and move on. Accept it and move on. Sometimes that's not a easy thing for anybody to do. Some people are better, they feel more secure in that state of feeling stuck. But let me say this, that there's an opposite to everything in life. It doesn't matter what it is, there's always an opposite to it. We have things that are valid and things that are invalid. We have new, we have old, we have the present, we have past, we have negative, we have positive, we have good and bad, and the list goes on and on. And we have what, which is closer to what I'm talking about today, is accept and reject. Accept and reject. Or if you want to turn it the other way, reject and accept. Yeah. So I want to look closer to that today, because, as I said, my job here is to try to help you to brace out of where you are, get out of what you're in, so you can be better. That's that's why I'm here. That's why I'm here. So when we think of a choice, uh, making that proper choice. In other words, a choice refers to the act of selecting or making a decision between two or more possibilities. Yeah. It involves evaluating different options and picking one. I mean, based on our preferences, depends on which way we want to go, depends on who we want to be, depends on how we want to impact the world and others around us. It depends, it all depends on us. Yeah, it depends on. So when you think of the yeah, there, everybody has needs and their circumstances and all this type of things in life. So a choice is something that is always standing in front of us. We have to make choices. Now, choices can range from simple decisions like, what to eat for breakfast. Yeah, that's a choice. You decide, what am I going to eat today? And so you make that choice and you go in that direction. So choices are something that we make every day. Now, um, when you think about that as something as simple as that, it goes in a more complex manner, like choosing a career path or making changes and some major decisions. It's all choices. We make choices between good and evil. So what choices do is that it helps us to navigate and to go in the direction we want to go, or do the things we want to do, say the things we want to say, behave the way we want to behave. It all comes down to that word choice, right? So, what I'm here to say to you today is that we need to reflect on values and we need to reflect on qualities. We need to look at our own lives. Okay, are you stuck? Are you moving forward? Are you being flexible in any way? So let's look at the word reject, because if you're going to accept something, you first have to maybe reject something. Yeah. So as I said, there's always an opposite to everything. So we say, right, I reject this and I accept that. And that's my focus today. All right. Now, reject is not a bad word. Reject is, for example, you're recognizing that this is not good for me. You're recognizing, so you know what, I'm going to choose that. Another word that you could actually look, and this coming from the word reject, is evaluate. You're evaluating the old situation to say, well, okay, this will work. I think this will work. I'm going to do this. I'm doing this evaluation of the, going through a process, whatever it is, and try to make the best of what you can make the best of. And there's another word which I'm going to come back to. I'm going to jump what is called jettison. I'm going to come back to that word. And so I'm dealing with the word reject. So one another thing we do is embrace. When we make our choices, we embrace our choices. We try to make those things, bring those things closer to us, so it enhances our life or enhances the life of other people. So, in other words, it's bringing us to that word, where, as I mentioned, choice. It's bringing us to that we have chosen how to transform our lives or our thinking, getting into that dimension, that place where we need to be, where we would like to be, where we hope to be. Maybe there are things that we would want to do, but again, We have to reject something so we can accept that thing. Now, I mentioned a word a while ago that maybe some of you might have heard that word for the first time. It's called jettison. 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 Yeah. Now, what does that mean? Um, it means to throw or to drop something from an aircraft or a ship. Now, speaking metaphorically, it means to discard or get rid of something that does not is not wanted or needed. Yeah. Now, when we look in the context of rejecting negative emotions, that's a very valid thing for us to think about because we're valid because we don't want emotions that's going to mess us up or take us in the wrong direction. As I mentioned to you before, there's two sides to everything. There's always an opposite. Doesn't matter what it is, there is an opposite to it somewhere, somehow. So, negative, yes, we look at positive. Now, do I want to remain in a negative place? Do I want to continue to be a negative person? Do I want to continue to embrace negative sayings, negative input? Do I want to do that? No, I'm going to make a choice to and get myself involved, indulge in the things that's going to enhance and make me better, take me to another dimension in life. And so I believe all of us want to get to that place. Yeah. So what it implies is letting go of those unwanted feelings. Yeah. So that's why I started by saying we reject and we accept. Yeah. So to accept, you really have to reject something. Yeah. So letting go of unwanted feelings is a good thing. I mean, that's what we all should be striving to do. Let go of the things that does not enhance, does not build us, does not add value to us. But in other words, the things that rob us, they rob us of our the life that we're supposed to live. Yeah. Now let's look at the word accept. Okay, because we're talking about reject and accept. When you think of accepting something, mark now you have rejected one um, because you have recognized the difference between these two. I don't want to go down that road. I don't want to be involved in that. So if I stay there, all it's going to do is heat away from me, rob me of joy and peace and hope and everything. So now I'm at the word accept. Yeah. Now, when you accept, first thing, you have to acknowledge. You have to acknowledge. So when you acknowledge where you are, who you are, what you're doing, what you're in, acknowledge whether, the consequences of what it can bring, can cause. So you said, you know what, I'm going to have to accept a better way because there is a better way. And so when you accept that better way, you come to the committing to a better way, a better life, better, maybe better company, better everything, better this, everything that spells better. You don't want to stay in a place that's the opposite of, we could say better, we could say bitter. You don't want to be in a bitter place. You want to be in a better place. So you commit to being in that better place. And now when accept goes with the word compassion. Compassion, because then let's say you're dealing with something from the past, someone from the past, an event from the past. And what's happening today is that you're still held captive by the thing. All right. Now, the reason why you cannot get past that, the reason why you cannot accept what happened is because there's a lack of compassion. Now, you have to be able to extend some sort of compassion towards maybe individuals, people that really hurt you, bring you to that place of where you are right now, discomfort, discontent and all those type of things. So now the only way to accept the event that happened, whatever it is that you have to extend compassion. You have to do that. And then there's also empathy. I'm dealing with the word accept. Yeah, empathy. So empathy means that, okay, you're concerned about, you're not just talking, but you listen and you give it, a best, what do you call it now? A valid response, if I could say it that way, a valid response. Okay. So you become empathetic with maybe individuals because again, I'm talking about accepting something so you can move forward, get out of the dungeon, get out of the rut. All right. Too many people are stuck right where they are right now with old stuff. They're stuck with old the baggages that they've been carrying for ages, for years and years and years. And every new year comes. Sometimes they make a resolution. They say, okay, I'm going to get rid of it this year. I'm going to move forward. But the year comes and the year ends, and they still carry the bag, is carried over into the next year. And it continues. It just, it's become that cycle. Just things just keep carrying over from year to year, month to month, day to day. And so people are always in disarray. They cannot steady themselves. They're not stabilized. They hacked it. They, try to show that they are. But the truth is that a lot of people are, in a mess. Their minds are messed up. And the simplest thing overturn them. The simplest thing, tick them. So we have to look at ourselves, okay? Because the other word in accept is the word persevere. Persevere. So you have to, whatever it is, you're going to come up against some troubling times. You're going to come up against some trying times, some testing times, some things that's going to test you because now you've accepted the challenge to move forward. And if you're not careful, you're going to be sideswiped. You're going to be run off the road, if I could say it that way, by things or people or sayings or whatever is happening. It's going to run you off the road. So now you have to get to that place where you say, you know what, regardless of what, I'm going to persevere because I believe at the end of this, it spells victory for me. Yeah. But the only way you can get to that place is that you have to persevere, you have to press, you have to keep moving forward. And then the last word in accept is that you have to trust the process. You have to trust the process because then it's all, you're going through a process. And as I said, so many things can derail you. Okay. And if you're not careful, you just give up. You just stop. I can't bother. This is not working. So you have to trust the process, even when it's painful, even when, man, it's really, I didn't know it would be this bad. I thought things would be better. I expected it to be a little easier, things like that. No, you have to trust the process because it's going to get difficult somewhere along the line when you decide to accept something that happened in the past. Okay, again, you've rejected something, you have accepted something. Okay, so you've accepted what happened, and you're telling yourself that because the only way to get past that thing is to accept it. That's the only way. There's no other way. Okay, so you make a choice. Okay, who you want to be. You make that choice. Who you want to be. You make the choice. The choice which side of life you want to be on. You also have to make a choice of saying, how am I going to be benefited from this thing? So you're asking yourself questions. You're asking yourself questions. When I make this choice, will it make me better? Will it make me worse? Those are things that you have to ask yourself. So we have to think of choosing emotions that's going to help us, because the truth is that choosing invalid emotions, attachment to the past, that's attached to the past, invalid invalid emotions that attach to our past, all it does is that it keeps us on the negative side of life. Yeah, I hope you got what I was trying to say there. So let me try to see if I can rephrase that so you get what I was saying. All right. So choosing invalid, because some emotions are invalid. Yeah. So choosing invalid emotional attachments, something that it connects you, and that's what it is. It connects you to something. Okay. So that attachment to the past, all it does, it keeps you in a negative state, a negative frame of mind. And so you want to move forward. You want to be the best. You want to, to do something different. But because of the attachment to the negative emotion, it kind of holds you prisoner. And you cannot, I mean, you're trying to break free, but the chains of that thing has held you so tight that it's hard to break away. So you have to make a choice between valid and invalid. Okay. Um, some things that you're holding on to right now, it's invalid. It's not valid at this time. It's like, you buy some things, whatever, maybe cell phones or whatever it is, some things, everything. And let me simplify by saying everything is being upgraded every day. Things are changing, life patterns are changing, and all this type of thing. So some of your thoughts, and that's why I gave you that list earlier on about the opposite to everything. Some of your thoughts that you have right now, that's been outdated thoughts long. You shouldn't be thinking that way anymore, because that thing is way back years ago. It's gone way back. But today, um, you keep those things alive for whatever reason. I don't know why people keep things alive that should have been buried and dead. I mean, just gone, just put away. But we keep them alive. And so when you keep those things alive, you're smart people, and you know better than anybody else about you. Nobody can dictate to you who you are. You know yourself. Okay. So you know the choices you make. You know how you're being impacted by those things. I mean, how damaging it is. I mean, mentally, emotionally. Yeah, every time you think about that thing, it takes you down 2 notches, 3 notches, 4 notches. And so your life cannot be stabilized, because you're always in the roller coaster type thing. Your mind is just going around and around and around and cannot be stabilized. It's because of the stage where you are. In other words, you have chosen to lean on the side of the negative than on the positive. Yeah. I don't know who I'm talking to. I don't know. I don't know what your life situation is, but I'm trying to help you to get out of where you are so you can get into a better place. Okay. Lean on the positive side of life, not on the negative. If you carry negative along, when you get to where you're going, negative is going to be there. You don't want that at all. So all of us, every last one of us, are faced with some things, or you faced something in the past, you're facing something now, and there are things that you will face in the future. Yeah. So yes, you've faced challenges in your past. Um, some battles you won, some you lost. Yeah, because nobody wins every time and loses every time. So some battles you won, and some you lost. Now, by now, the areas where you lose out, and you're still wrapped up in that area of lost. Okay. I should not have, I mean, this should not have happened. I should not have done that. I should, shouldn't, and all this type of thing. And so you keep wallowing in those things that is not helping to propel you to a new place or a better place. It is helping to keep you down. That's what it's doing, helping to keep you down. By now, looking back at years ago at your past, okay, you should have grown, yeah, and you should have changed over time, okay. I know when I use that word should, it's a demanding word, but in this case, yeah, it makes sense because you should have grown and you should have changed over time because you're at whatever whatever age you are, and you're still dabbling, you're still entertaining 10 years of misery, 20 years of misery, 20 years of loss, 30 years of loss, whatever it is, you're still in that today. So the thing is that you have made a bad choice. And if the only person who can change that, change things around, it's you. Nobody else can do that for you. Okay? So you're a different person today because over time, you're different. You're not, no one of us, we are the same where we were 5 years, 10 years, 15, 20 years ago. Um, if it's even different in size, yes, in shape and something is different about you, but you're not the same today that you was then. So what happened today? Um, what you do today, your reaction will probably be different than how you did it 5, 10, 15, 20 years ago. You're going to have a different reaction to it because you have grown, something has changed in your life and you're not the same as you was then. So my point here is that if you have changed in some things today, why are we still holding on to something that's been long gone? It's not valid anymore. Life has been upgraded, life has changed. You have moved on in some areas of your life, but in certain areas you decide, I'm going to stay there 20 years ago. Okay, you're still there. Some of you living in 25 years, 30 years, 40 years, 50 years. Some of you still living back there. So you tell me, what's the benefit of that? What's the benefit of that? Because you choose some what you want to do, some things you want to do, but you choose to say, well, you know what, I'm not going to change that. I'm going to hold it. In other words, I'm going to hold on to that hate, that malice, that grudge, that resentment. I'm not going to let it go. It's like it's enhancing my life. It's making me a better person. That's a lie. It's not making you a better person. It's making you a worse person than you could ever imagine. Yeah. So my thing, my friend, is that you have to let these things go. You have to accept the thing that happened. Okay? Accept it and move on. That's the only way for you to benefit from the things that God has in store for you. Now, you have grown. And the more you release your emotions, it's the less you will think about the past. The more you release your emotions, I'm talking about the negative emotions, the more you release those emotions, is the less you will think about the past. The less you think about the past is the more you will enjoy the present. I think that's a good place for somebody to shout yes. So let me repeat that again. Okay? Because you have grown, the more you release your emotions, the less you will think about the past. The less you think about your past, the more you will enjoy the future. You can take that to the bank because it's true. Yeah. So the path of health requires some things. If you're going to stay on this path, and if you're going to win over evil, over discomfort, over discontent, over despair, and all these things, there's some things that you're gonna have to do. Okay, as we talk about accept, so let's look at that a little further. Accept, okay, to acknowledge and accept is the first step towards letting go. You acknowledge what happened, you accept it, okay? The truth is that at this point, there's nothing you can do to change what happened. Doesn't matter if somebody out there, and I know I'm not seeing your comments in the chat right now. I'll see them later, because we're coming to you in a little different format this morning. Okay, so put those ideas, those thoughts, and everything in the chat. Just keep putting them in. All right. Not be able to read them, but at the same time, they're there. Others can see them, and I'll be able to get to them tomorrow morning, God's willing. I'll, um, I'll if I have to comment on comment on some of them, I will. Okay. Sorry, excuse me, my miracle fluid here. I'm sorry. Yeah. Yeah. So as I said, to acknowledge and accept is the first step towards letting go. If you're going to let go, move forward, enjoy the present, then you're going to have to acknowledge and you're going to have to accept what happens. Not accepting it because you like it. Not me not say not accepting because you liked what happened, but accept it because you cannot change it. You cannot change it right now. Okay? I think I need to say that. So your old past is no one's fault anymore. Doesn't matter how many people you blame for it. Doesn't matter how much time you spend wallowing in self-pity over it. It's not anybody's fault anymore. Regardless of who did you what, it's not their fault anymore. It's gone. It's gone. You see? But you see, you have to be at that place where you're so mature that you are able to get past it without thinking, okay, I need to do something about this. Now you're thinking about something that happened 5 years, 10 years, as I said, 20 years, and way back. And you're still saying to yourself, I need to do something about this. I need for them to pay. Now hear this, watch this. The person who you want to pay, where are they? Maybe they're in the ground. Maybe they're 6 feet under, but you still want them to pay after so many years. You are still being messed up. Your mind is in disarray. You can't, every time you wake up, you see this thing just flash in front of your face, and you go to bed at night, it's on your mind because the thing, you just can't get past it. Who is hurting? Who is hurting? Not the person, not the person who did you wrong. The only person who is hurting right now is you. It's the only person who is hurting. So you have to get to that place. All of us have to get to that place to understand that we have the ability to get past the lions, the tigers, the bears, and all this type of thing that's in the way, because they're like giants, monsters, enemies waiting to attack. They're right there in your path. So you have to muster up the courage. I am not going to be held captive by this thing. Yeah, I'm going to get past it, and I'm going to come out the winner. I mean, not just 100%, but 110, 20, whatever it is percent. I am going to get past this thing. Yeah. So because you're thinking that you should be able to make somebody pay for what happened. Yeah, because that's what a lot of people, and I'm saying all these things because these are things that I've been through with people. I mean, I've done so many years of dealing with people on these things, and I've heard these things. I hear them every time people come in. They need to pay. He need to pay. She need to pay. Type of thing. And sometimes the person who they want to pay, when you realize they're dead and gone, but you still want them to pay. How under God's heaven are they going to pay? How? How? So, and even if they're alive, it doesn't make sense because the thing is gone. They're not doing it to you anymore. They did it, and so now that thing is not new, fresh, and valid. It's not something that is happening. It's something that happened, and so you're getting rid of the whole junk. You're not allowing that thing to tag along with you like you got this brand new Lexus or Benz, whatever, this expensive automobile, but then you get a U-Haul thing with some junk and hook up on behind you, and people look at the brand new car, but before they can see the car, they see the junk. Yeah, they're not going to see the beauty of the car anymore. All they're seeing is that, wow, how could that person do that? Driving such an expensive car, but look at what's behind it. So all they're going to see is the junk. And that's how it is with life. When you're going on, you're a beautiful person, handsome person, you have good intentions, you clean up yourself, you look good, nice outfit and all this type of thing. But then the things that you're hauling, the things that you're pulling, it takes away from all of that. Everything, the facial, everything that you try to for people to see the good you, because of what you're pulling along, you're hauling, taking with you, it takes away from you. It takes away from your beauty. It takes away from your handsomeness. It takes away from everything that you want people to see. Because why? You have not unloaded. You have not let go. You have made sure that these things carry on, continue. So my friends, you have to get to that place. Yeah? That nobody is going to pay anymore for that thing. It's gone. Accept the fact that you cannot change the past. Accept the fact that you cannot change the past. It's gone. Accept it and let it go. You need to do that. Accept what it was. Yeah? Accept what it was. Accept how it felt and be okay with it. Accept that nothing or no one will release you from the burden you carry except you. You're the only person who can do that. Doesn't matter how people want to help you. They cannot help you because if you're not helping yourself, nobody can help you. Letting go can seem like a hard thing to do all the time. But what is that one thing? Let me ask you, what is that one thing that you're holding on to today that you can't let go of? What is that one thing that it is so precious to you? It's coming from donkey years, coming down the road with you, but it is so precious to you that you can't let it go. You have to get to that place to live where you belong. And where do you belong? In the present, right here. You belong here, not in the past. Okay? So if you're living in the past, you're living in the wrong place. Yeah? You're living in the wrong place. Live in the present where you can be free. The truth is that freedom is yours. You have to take a hold of it. You have to grab it and you have to embrace it. Embrace your freedom. Another thing that to do to be able to accept is to identify the source of what's happening to you. Okay? Understand where your emotions are coming from. Because, sorry, if the emotions are getting the better of you, then I'm sorry for you. So you have to get to that place where you accept where the emotions are coming from, knowing just if you know their origin, I mean, you'll be able to address the root cause. Okay? You know how this started, where it started, and who contributed to it and all those type of things. So that's where it started. No, you have acknowledged, you have identified the source of that thing. All right. So now you're going to have to get to work, because some factors that might keep you in a place where, okay, for a little while, because it's like, let me use the word, the pain might be excruciating. Yeah. So let's say that it was a bad divorce, a breakup, separation, whatever it is, and all this type of things. It's not a pain that just, and I'm not here to tell you that it happens and you just get rid of it like that. I'm not that crazy. Okay, things take time to get rid of, but let's say something happened 5 years ago. You had a divorce 5 years ago, or breakup 5 years ago. Somebody did something really bad to you 5 years ago, 10 years ago. Today, all right, you're still keeping it fresh in your mind. How does that benefit you? How does that benefit you? Let's say it was an domestic violence. You've been through this type of thing where really, really abused by someone. Today you're saying that, no, I can't let it go. I can't let it go. My friends, letting go of old emotions, it can be challenging, but it's profitable. It's profitable. Um, People, there are several reasons why people don't let go of things. People hold on to things. There's several reasons why they hold on to things. Um, People often hold on to familiar emotions and experiences. Every day, if they experience something new, then all it does is pack in. It becomes an addition to the whole thing. Okay, so even if the thing is painful, because the part of it that you're identified with, it can actually, I'm trying to figure out how to put this. Okay, you're in a comfort zone. You feel comfortable in your little cubicle where you are with all of these stuff. Okay, and so you you're packing everything inside of that little comfort zone. It's a small cubicle. It can hardly take anything more, but there's so much stuff that you're packing inside of that. And so when you're packing in and packing in, it makes you uncomfortable that you cannot find room to turn. There's no space for you to turn and to do things. But the thing is that I'm not going to let this go. I'm not going to give it away because it's been too painful. I want for you to listen to my words carefully. It was too painful. But you're packing things where you are in your cubicle, in your little comfort zone right now. You're packing things in, and you can't turn, you can't move, you can't, can't find space to walk. What is more painful? Is it not letting things in now to free up your space, or is it just keeping the things, just packing more things in? Which is more painful? To me, it's more painful to keep packing things in, because the truth is, new things are going to happen. And every day, things keep happening. So if you tell yourself that I'm not going to let this go, I'm not going to get rid of that. It's like some people just accumulate junk. Yeah, the junk accumulators. Yeah. And so they accumulate the junk, and junk on top of junk, and junk on top of junk, junk. And so some people got a garage full of junk. You can't walk in your own garage. Yeah, mine is a little junky, but not like that. I can still park my car inside there. But some people, it's junk. So when do we get rid of the junk? When do we get rid of the junk? Why do we hold on to things that hurt us and not help us? Why do we do that? Why? The thing is that some people hold on to things because of the fear of the unknown. They don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. And so if I let this go, I don't know what's going to happen. So they don't let it go, because wow, they're fearful that something might happen, and that the person or the thing, whatever it is, may come back to haunt them again. Might The same thing might repeat itself. Come on, you let the thing go, you move on, and you couldn't care less whether somebody do anything, or they repeat offenders try to do something. No, you have moved on in your life, and so you're not worried about them at all. You're not fearful about them, because you have to understand this, that letting go can mean stepping into the unknown. Without you don't have to see where you're going. It's like Abraham, when God told him to move out, get out of where you are. And he went out not knowing where he was going, but he went by faith. He stepped out in faith. So it can be a very scary situation, because it's that thing of uncertainty, of not knowing what's going to happen, what's on the other side. Yeah, it can be scary when you think about it, but the truth is that you have to use that thing that's called faith, because you are growing, and you're developing, and you're maturing, and so you're getting better at things every day as you go along. A lot of people don't want to let go things, because they're unresolved issues that they think if they let it go, then it is going to depreciate them in some way. Unresolved conflicts, yeah, they did not put a closure on it. Maybe there's no way to put a closure on it anymore, because, as I said, one party maybe can be already out of the way, and so there's no way that you can put a closure on it face to face with that person. So the closure is going to have to come by you as an individual, just you. So you have to face that thing by yourself, so you can get to where you need to get to. Even you have to go there alone, because yes, some journey you have to walk alone. Unresolved issues, yes, it's been unresolved, but yes, how do I deal with something that has not been resolved, and the person is not there for me to tell them how I feel about it anymore? You have to find ways to, and there are ways to do it, okay? There are ways to do it. We have people in counseling like that several times, and we have to use different methods to get them, to do things. We have ways in getting people to forget those things. But again, I can't tell you everything on this broadcast, because this is anyway. Yeah. So unresolved issues or a trauma can make it hard, make it real hard to move on. I understand that. I know that. I know that for sure. Okay. So as the emotional wounds may still be open, you have to find some sort of dressing, something that's going to help that wound to close somewhere, somehow, because the wound need to be closed up, so it does not incur, bacteria and all these type of things inside of that wound, and becomes a rotten sore instead of a healing sore. You need something to be healing, not something that's going to rot and decay and get worse every day. You don't want that. Okay. Another reason why people refuse to let go is that they're thinking, that habitual thinking, negative thought patterns, and that can become ingrained, an ingrained habit that that is difficult to break. Some habits are difficult to break, hard to break. You don't just smash it or say, well, okay, away with that. The truth is, when you think about it, people hold on to things in the past, and when they they use things like, okay, when something happened, the devil is a liar, or you know what, rebuking the thing and all this type of thing, speaking tongues over it, and all this type of thing. When it's an outward behavior, an action, okay, an outward thing. The thing that's inside is not broken, it's not dissolved, it's not worked on. It is still there, but we polish it over with okay, the devil is a lie and all those type of things, because it becomes just a sentence that people makes. And so sometimes we use these things to try to make us feel better, but it's only for that moment, because that thing has been so ingrained, the habit, the behavior, the practice has been so ingrained. And so it become a part of the individual. And so when something is so, devil, stamped imprint inside of you, you can't leave that thing not dealing with it the way it is supposed to, and say the devil is a liar, and think that that thing is going to go away. It ain't going to go away like that. No, you have to take that thing, take, as the old saying, take the bull by the horn. You have to do that and work on this thing the way, take it from, go to the root of this thing. You have to acknowledge what it was, accept what it was. And so you're taking your time. No, you know what, I'm a better person. I don't have to live like that. I don't have to be that. I don't have to listen to that. I don't have to accept that. I'm accepting that thing the way it is, the way it was. And so I'm putting it to rest, because I've accepted it, knowing that I cannot change it. Yeah, that's simple as it is. It's a hard thing to do, but at the same time, a simple thing to do if you find the right notch, the right button, knowing the right knob to turn, then it can happen. It can happen. Some people live with, a lack of closure. And if you're living with a lack of closure, because not having closure, to in certain situations, such as breakups and loss and all those type of things. What it does, it keep emotions lingering, negative emotions. It keeps them lingering around, because unless you put closure on something, it means that the thing is still open, still open. When something is open, it's open, and anything can walk in because it's open. You have to get to that place where you put closure on that thing. If it's a loss, you have to put closure on it. If it's a breakup, you have to put closure on it. Accept it. Yeah, it happened and I can't change it today. It's a loss. It happened. I can't bring back whatever it is. So I have to accept it and move forward. Have to do that. All right. Again, guilt, regret, and all those type of things. People live with those things. A lot of guilt, a lot of regret, feeling guilty or regretful about past actions. That can prevent you from even forgiving yourself or forgiving others, because the guilt and the regret, you feel guilty about what you did. Yeah. And so that you contributed to it. You cannot forgive yourself for that. So you hold yourself captive in that thing. All right. The regret is there. I'm sorry I did it, but at the same time, you're not trying to change it. You're not trying to bring some sort of what you would call it, relief after pain. You're not trying to do that. You're talking about it, but you're actually not taking actions to relieve yourself of that pain. So the only way to do that, my friends, is that you have to stop right where you are. You have to do some evaluation. Okay? You have to look at the things from where it began, how it started, what started it. Okay? And then say, you know what? This is the point. This is where the buck stops. Right here, not going any further with this. I'm dissolving this old thing in my thoughts, in my head. From this moment, it's being dissolved. Yeah? Another reason why people refuse to let go is that dependency. People become dependent on. People can be dependent on people even when they're dead. They're thinking that they can still help them. Yeah, people can't help you at all at that point. No. So individuals may become, people are just about anybody, may become dependent on certain emotions. Okay. If I have to behave that way, I have to act that way. I have to, in other words, let's use anger, which is the danger one. Let's use anger. That's a danger guy. All right. That because of what happened, every time I have to get angry. All right. I feel angry. And then you're feeling the anger. You're maintaining, you're holding on to the anger. Why? Because then you feel like as long as you're angry, the person is paying. As long as you are angry, the person is paying. That's a lie. That's a lie. You have to get rid of that. You have to dissolve that. Okay, sadness and all those things. So the you have to get to that place where you can cope with life, um, exchange, throw away the old and embrace the new. Throw out the old and embrace the new. Because it doesn't matter how hard you try, you cannot resolve anything in your past by just holding on to it today and getting angry over it. You're not going to change it. It is changing you. You're not changing it. Yeah. So sometimes you come under extreme pressure in certain ways. All right. You can pressure from the outside, pressure from the inside, because sometimes we pressure our own selves. Yeah. You find that people sometimes may, and come sometimes family members, they look at you and they keep reminding you of what happened in the past. It's always like they keep it fresh in your memory. Yeah. And so you find yourself under this pressure. So you're getting pressure externally and you're getting pressure internally because it's affect what they're saying. It's you're turning it on the inside, and so you're putting pressure on yourself internally by what's coming externally. I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. And so what all it does is that it stirs up your emotions. It stirs up your emotions, and it's the bandle, the bandle on your hand. That's it, holding you as a prisoner. It's getting tighter and tighter, and it's squeezing the very life out of you without you even understand what's happening to you. I mean, you're just every day you get up, you're in disarray. You can't function. It affects your self-esteem. It affects your self-worth. So people with low self-esteem, may struggle to believe they deserve anything better. And so that's what these things do. I don't deserve better. I deserve what's happening to me. That's a lie. That is a lie. You deserve to be happy. You deserve to be happy. You don't deserve to go through those things, okay? My friends, I know my time is almost gone. I'm going to close shortly. But whatever you can do to help yourself, whatever things are good, pleasant, whatever things are going to enhance your life and take you to a next dimension, you have to do that. Sometimes you have to learn to express yourself in a good way. Talk to a friend. I mean, write, journal, do something, write something down. Okay. Be creative in something, find some activities, something that can help you to get your feelings out. Because what you accepted this thing. Now you're trying to get it out to make sure that because if you don't get it out, it's going to stay inside of you. And that's what you don't want. You're trying to get this thing out of you so you can be free. All right. You have to learn to master negative thoughts. Master your negative thoughts. You have to replace those negative thoughts with positive affirmations. Yeah. Refrain from your from negative mindset and negative thinking and all those. There's so much that we need to do. We all need to do so we can function the way we're supposed to. Yeah. If you don't do that, you're going to live a zombie life, and you don't want to do that at all. So you have to sometimes do the things that it's hard, but you have to do it. But the most important thing is to forgive yourself, to forgive others, and move on. Forgive yourself, forgive others, and move on. That, my friend, is the key to freedom. It's the key to freedom. Let go of the grudges, let let go of the resentment, and you got to set some boundaries. Yeah, we all have to set boundaries. When you do all of that, there has to be some boundaries. And tomorrow morning, God's willing, I think I'll wrap this up tomorrow. And I hope and trust that something was said today that I've got the clock and I realize 11 o'clock is gone. Yeah. So I hope and trust that something was said today that can benefit you and will help you to move to the next dimension of your life so you can enjoy the fullness of what God wants you to. God wants the best for you. He loves you and he wants the best for you. But you have to want the best for yourself. Thank you, my friends. I hope and trust that I'll see you back here tomorrow. Same place, same time. Please share the link with somebody and give me a like. I hope this means something to you, and I hope that something was said that is resonating with you right now. So give me a thumbs up and share the link. Father, I thank you for this day. Thank you for your presence. Thank you for your loving kindness and your tender mercies. I pray for somebody today, God, in the hearing of my voice. I pray, Lord, that this word will go out and touch a heart, a mind, a soul. Somebody, God, who think that they cannot make it or they cannot bounce back. I pray, God, that somebody will learn today to accept the situation so that they can move forward in dignity and pride. And Lord God, experience your beauty and your joy. I thank you today. I give you all the praise, all the honor, and all the glory. God bless you, my friends. Keep putting those notes, those ideas, those thoughts and everything, keep putting them in the chat. Very important that you do so. Again, have a great rest of the day. God bless you.